So I'm Dattatreya Kumar Tadapalli. So I'm into this IT industry, uh, almost 11 years completed in this IT industry, and especially in this Dynamics 365. So by this year, I mean, I almost completed 10 years into this Dynamics platform. I have started my career with previous versions of this Dynamics 365. So I have started with the Acceptor 2009. Then after I have worked on 2012 R2 and R3 versions. And now after the evaluation of Dynamics 365 started, so I have started working on this from 2018. So from 2018, I'm into this Dynamics 365 finance and operations. So overall experience I have in IT is 11, and especially on this particular domain is 10. Okay, and so I'm a full-time consultant. I'm also working for an organization. Apart from this, I like teaching, and because this gives me some immense satisfaction over my profession. And I've started this teaching profession in 2018 itself. So almost by this August. So I have completed 7 years in this teaching profession as well. So over the period of time, so almost around I mean, I did not count actually, but yeah, almost I believe it will be around 200 to 300 people I have trained on this trade and logistics parts of Dynamics 365 in my profession. So that was about me. And I have some topics to cover. These are the topics I have for today. I mean, I mean, I feel it's not good to read out the topics, so because in this slide I'm already projecting, and you also can go through it. But yeah, I mean, I want to highlight this scenario in such a way that in the next 20 minutes, so the clarity I am going to give you people is um, what you I mean, what you will get if you take this particular course, what you will become. Let's say what will be your role, what will be your responsibilities, how you have to tackle this with this Dynamics 365 supply chain management, and especially about trade and logistics, and a brief introduction about Dynamics 365 um, supply chain management, trade and logistics functional area, and um, exclusively to my demo. Most probably, I think the people who are just graduated will come. But yeah, there are some slides as well for that. So I'll briefly complete those slides because you both are experienced here. So this was the clarity I'm going to give you, and I can explain you about the course details and all, and then after you can make a decision. And um, in this demo session, what I request you people is you can, um, I mean, of course, it's a demo session and you are here to take a decision that whether I go with this guy. I mean, I mean here, so if I choose this person as my tutor, so whether he is going to do justice or not for my learning curve in my career. So this is what you try to analyze and take a decision later on. Yeah. Okay. So next. So usually I'll start my thing with what is IT. It doesn't mean that you don't know about this. Usually graduates will be there in my demo. So just quickly I'll wind up this slide. But yeah, I would like to know your understanding about IT. IT means, of course, IT stands for information technology. But what happens in IT? So can anyone let me know your thoughts on what happens in IT? Sure. So I'll tell my view about IT. It's not something I have learned from Google or some blogs or some pages, nothing like that. It was my understanding over the period of experience that I had. So, of course, yeah, IT stands for information technology. And if someone asks me what happens in an IT industry, I'll tell them in two ways. First one is using the information, IT people or IT industry will sell the technology. I'll repeat it again. Using the information, IT people or the IT industry will sell the technology. So, what sort of information it is? Again, as you said, it's the requirement. So, the requirement means it's the. I mean, in other words, we can halfway we can define it as a need of a particular business in having a software which will help their business operations go smooth. Okay, that's where the need will start, and that need will come to a place of a requirement, and that requirement is the god for the IT industry or other people. So using the information here, the information in the sense the customer business related data, why they are looking for an ERP software, what will how ERP a dynamic, I mean a Dynamics 365. If you take that particular application, so Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations as an example, so how it will help their business. So then after taking that information or the data from the customer, so IT people or IT industry will customize the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations for the business needs of the, I mean, of that so-called business, customers' real business. So this is one area, and the second area is, let's say, if already some application, I mean, let's say if an application was built for a particular customer, then after service or support related operations will be started. So two things will be there in IT, most probably implementation and support. So the first point I told you can be referred to the implementation, and the second point is some support related thing. So here, if already one application which can be, if you take any customized application later on, support operations will be there for their business users. So depending on the I mean errors or knowledge related helping part and and its assistant. So all this is one category. So we can streamline these two business lines in IT industry. I'm not saying that 100% IT industry is relied on that. At least I would say 60 to 70% of the operations in IT are relied on on these two things. It's not only ERP, any kind of software you take it. So for a software development, all it is required a requirement from the customer, and IT people will mold it according to the business requirements. And the second one is the support operations. So in the support operations, we will come to know the customer data, and based on that customer data, we will use it as per the business needs and all. Okay. So this is all I can say about them. If someone asks me what is IT, what happens in IT, so it can be a technology. So where using that particular technology, we can create the information, store the information, retrieve the information, and transmit the information whenever we need. Okay. So this is about IT. So usually I used to elaborate a little more for freshness and all. So, but yeah, I think you people already know that. So just I took that particular slide to tell my view, so that you will come to understand how I analyze the things and all. So now the second slide that we have is ERP. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So why we need to know about this ERP now? Because the product Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, we call it as an ERP product. Okay, so ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, and we need to know about ERP before we come to know this F&O. So before explaining the definition of dynamics of this particular ERP, so I would like to take an example, very frequent example, which I'll take in the demo part. So I'll explain that example, and then I will bring it to the point of introduction to the Dynamics 365 F&O. Okay. So now let's say if you take the very frequent example I take for demo purpose is the automobile company Maruti Suzuki. Okay. So I'm not any, I'm not working for Maruti Suzuki, or I'm not, I don't, or it's something I have uh, uh, some favoritism towards Maruti Suzuki, nothing like that. So it's a business that I took for example. So if you, if someone asks you what is this Maruti Suzuki company, so what they will do. So the very high level answer that we can give them is it's a car selling company or a car manufacturing company. So these are the two answers that we can hear from anyone if someone asks you about Maruti Suzuki. If you give a thought about that particular company from the operations point of view, so what happens in Maruti Suzuki? So of course they are a car manufacturing company, and whatever the car that they have manufactured, they will sell it. So for the manufacturing of the car, so it's not one thing or one person or a single unit works for the manufacturing of the car. So multiple, a number of persons will be there, and a number of departments will be there. Um if you take the departments of that particular company, so let's say purchasing team will be there. So that we call, in other words, we call them as procurement team. The work of this particular purchasing team or the procurement team is depending on the demand that they have for their product, they have to procure the raw materials. Let's say in the year of 2025, they want to manufacture um, some 10 lakh units of a particular of their cars. So for their 10 lakh units that they want to manufacture in 2025, they will not purchase all the raw materials at once. So they will, I mean, depending on the requirement at that particular time or for that particular month, they will procure the raw materials. So in the plan of or in the execution of this particular raw material procurement, so what they will do is they will create some purchase orders kind of thing. So to the vendors. So here the work of that particular procurement team is they have to remember what are the items that they have procured and how much quantity they have procured against that particular item. And so they need to remember how what was the receipt date when they are going to get this stock, and how much stock was received, whether it was in a good condition or in a bad condition. uh, all these things will be there. So it's not it is not possible to for a particular person or a group of person to remember this. Definitely, in order to handle these things for them, a software solution is needed for them. So why it was needed means to remember what was the quantity that they have ordered against the each and every order, and to give some understanding to the people who are there in the company how much stock they are going to get in the upcoming days, and what was the receipt date. Let's say if receipt date in the sense, let's say if you had ordered some 10,000 quantity of a particular item, because as it was a manufacturing company, definitely they will order these raw materials in bulk quantity only. They will not order one quantity or two quantity. So if the vendor is also sending them the goods in partial receipts in the sense, if the number of quantity that was ordered is 10,000, in the first instance, some 6,000 of quantity was sent to them, and in the second instance, another 4,000 was sent by the vendor. So they need to have some um, configuration, I mean, or some recording in the system that on this particular purchase we have received only 6,000 in the first instance, and remaining 4,000 they are going to get on this particular so and so date. So they need some clarity like this for each and every order they made it for the company. So definitely they need a software solution for this. Now, the let us assume when I mean the procurement was done and the raw materials are at the warehouse place. Now, whatever the items that the company has purchased, those items should be properly stored in the warehouse, so that whenever there is a requirement in the production floor, the person has to go to that exact place and pick the item and give it to the people in the store, give it to the people in the production floor. So it should be that much accurate where the stock was right there and how much stock was there. So system should give us some I mean, they should have some year real time insights on a particular item, how much stock was available and how much stock we are going to the production floor. If we are sending that particular stock, how much will remain in the warehouse. They should have some accurate information. So again, here also the inventory and warehouse management team will do this activity, and they also need some software solution for that. Again, the production floor team also, they also need some system support in such a way how much quantity they are manufacturing now. So in order to record all those details, they also need some solution for it. And let's say once the product is ready, so I mean, marketing team will come into the picture, where marketing team will do some campaigns kind of thing for that particular product, and they will attract customers. So now for that campaigning process also, who are the I mean, how many persons attended that campaign and what are those details, so that though I mean those persons are the leads for the customer, and based on that those leads they will convert them to the customers for the company. So to record all these things, marketing team also need a software solution. Next comes the sales team, so where each and every sale that was done by the company, they have to record it, because they should have some understanding what was the car and which model, and what was the engine number or the vehicle identification number or the chassis ID of that particular product they have sold, to which customer they have sold, and they will record that information, because each and every car manufacturing company, definitely they will have some service. So they will make money out of that particular service also. Okay. So usually for that automobile product, we used to get some service reminders, right? So that service reminders company will be able to send us only if they have recorded our sales related information. So at that particular time only, the company will be able to sell us, we will be able to send some reminders to the customers that this was the date you need to send your automobile, your car or a scooty or bike to the plan, I mean, to the service center. So they also need, sales team also need some software solution for, like, for this to record all the information of the customer and to give a good experience to the customer, to generate invoice and to provide that invoice as well. And now comes the finance team, so where they have to manage the payments that the company has to make made to the vendor, and the money that company has to receive from the customer. Okay. So so they have to manage these two things. And let's say, as these many people are working for the company, definitely their human resource team is required to record all the employment details and what was the skill of each and every uh, person, and in what way the company can utilize them for their business operations. So all those details need to be there, and their leaves, etc., etc. And the payroll department will also be there, so where they used to take the um, management of the salaries that company has to pay to the uh, to the employees that exist in the company. So these many, then after service department will also be there, where they will take the how, which car came for service, and what was the service that was made on that particular car, and how much the customer was billed for that. So, and what was the service history? Let's say, first time a car came for service, what was the service that was done? If the history was made, again, if customer come back with a complaint about the service that was made, they used to check that service history, and then only they can give some reply to the customer. Sometimes the scenarios will be like that. So these many departments will be there, and all these departments, for their day-to-day activities, they need a software solution for it. Okay. So um, so coming to the definition of this particular ERP, so enterprise resource planning. So enterprise resource planning, what it will do is, it will um, consider all the requirements that that the persons in each and every department are having. So it will consider all those requirements, and it will bring all those requirements to one particular software platform, and a solution will be provided to those needs. So ERP it will do that. Okay. So ERP is, you can consider that um, as a software or application. So multiple ERP products are there in the market, like SAP, Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, PeopleSoft, and some local ERPs are also there. So Dynamics 365 is one such ERP product where it can provide solution to the procurement department needs, sales, finance, inventory and warehouse management service, human resource and payroll. For all these departments, and whatever the functionalities that the company need for executing their business operations. So Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, this product have some inbuilt solutions in it, um, and it can provide solutions to all the business needs or the requirements that any business is having. So that's why, I mean, uh, it's a introduction to the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. So that's why we came to know about this particular enterprise resource planning definition here. Okay. So now you come to know, right, about this finance and operations, in what way, and what is the purpose of it, and in what way the business people will use that particular product. So now the first question I understood is how Microsoft built this particular system, and the second question I understand is how this product can be customized and given to the customers.
Correct.
Is my understanding correct about
Yes,
your question?
yes, you are right.
How Microsoft has developed this product? Actually, it's a good question. So, out of the box, I can explain you. So, over the period of time. So previously, Dynamics, there was a evolution of Dynamics 365 also. It all started with in 1998. If you see this particular slide, so it was IBM Accepta at this particular time. Then after it became Accepta 2.5. Then after Microsoft took it and they have developed a version called Accepta 3.0. Okay, so how they have built means, see, I'll explain you this way. For example, or for time being, let's put this Dynamics 365 aside for some time now. So we all know about MS Office, right? So where we have this Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So what if I give a thought on that particular Word or Excel or PowerPoint on that? So how it was evolved? It all starts with the requirement where I think in those days the people have a requirement where they want to, if they, I mean, whatever the data that they want to create some data and they want to store it, and whenever they want to retrieve it, they want to retrieve that data, add some additional data to it, and then save it, and then so that's how they. I mean, there was a need for the people to develop that, and Microsoft what they have done is. Uh, People from different sectors. Okay, let's say payroll is there. Exclusively for payroll, some softwares are there, and exclusively for managing the accounts, there are some softwares are there. Tally. So, um, I mean, how those functionalities are executing? What can be done in a better way? So, they have people. Microsoft has invested some money on it, and they have developed this particular application. So, it's a thought that I mean that was there in some people's mind, and where Microsoft has acquired it, and the application was developed like this. Even though it's not a one shot application that was developed like this, you know what? Till today, Microsoft will provide a minimum of 2 updates per year, 2 to 3 updates. Like how we will get software updates for our mobile phone, so we will get the update. So in that update, what people Microsoft will do, they will develop new functionalities, and that new functionalities also, if you know, Microsoft will ideas from the consultants who work on it, like me or like you. So they will take ideas, and some team will be there um, considering those ideas. And for according to those ideas, Microsoft will develop this particular application. So you can still today also you can log on to the Microsoft related portal. You can post your business ideas in the sense how you want the application to be. Let's say in the upcoming days, if you learn this particular application, and if you felt that a particular functionality, if it is like this now, and if you want to extend it to a bit more, so you can post your ideas. I want this application. I mean, I want this functionality. I would love this functionality more if it is extended like this. So you can post your business ideas like that. So that it all starts with the requirement from the over the people in the world, and that's how the evolution was started. So it all started in 1998, and right now, so the in it came to uh, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations now. So it was the evolution. So this was the answer for your first question, and I have started my. Um, I mean, in 2014, I have started my career on this particular Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009. So I have worked on all these platforms. I mean, I have not worked on 4.0, 3.0. So from here, I have whatever the upgrades are there. So I have worked on all these upgrades. See, if you ask me the difference, it's not about the version. It's the user interface mainly. You ask me, and in 2009 also, whatever the functionalities that are working even till today, those functionalities are there. Okay, but when I compare this finance and operations to the AX 2009, the first and foremost thing that I have to explain you is about the user interface. Okay, it was my Dynamics 365 finance and operations is more user friendly. Okay, so UI, and the second one is Dynamics 365 finance and operations have more functionalities than AX 2009. Okay, and Dynamics 365 finance and operations is more um, we can integrate this particular system to another system also for the movement of data from one system to the another system. System in the sense from one particular software platform to another software platform, where we have that less scope in Dynamics AX 2009. The period of time, there was an upgrade on this, and it's a business also that. Um, if I have to compare this and explain you, so previously we used to have the different OS will be even though before the evolution of the smartphone, there will be few mobile phones will be there where I mean the operation OS will be there in that, but they will have different names. Even Samsung came with one OS and Motorola came with one OS, and after that, after this particular introduction of uh, smartphone. So they are under Android, and in Android they are now we are using 14, 15 different versions will be there. Right now we are using Android. So if you ask me, it's not version. Um, so even though in X 2009 we used to have versions, so the primary difference I can say is in 2 points. First one is user interface, and the second one is the functionalities that are available in the applications. And here different icons are given by uh, Dynamics over the period of time when it was changed. So how people will customize it? So if you ask me, uh, as a functional consultant, we will take the. I mean, I'll explain this. I will explain um, to your question with a sort of slide that was available with me. So if you see, these are the 6 phases that are there in a software development lifecycle. So, I mean, if you take any, it's not specifically about Dynamics 365. It's about any software that you take. These are the 6 phases of the software development lifecycle that we have. So it all start with the analysis and it end with the maintenance. So when you take this particular analysis and design, what I mean, I'll try to explain the functional consultant role also here. What functional consultant will do here is, um, once after the project was awarded to the company, the functional consultant will go to the customer location to understand the business requirements. Okay, so so once the business requirements are taken by the functional consultant, then if the product the company has to give to their customer is Dynamics 365, then what they will do is they will try to understand that the requirement given by the customer requirement in the sense, let's say, um, forget about Dynamics 365 now. I'll take the Gmail example and I'll explain. So the high level requirement that customer will give you is I need some login page or the sign up page for this particular Gmail. Okay, so then after what functional consultant, I mean, this is the high level requirement that will be given by the customer. So now functional consultant has to analyze that particular requirement and to design that particular sign up page. So let's say the functional consultant has to do the work in such a way. Let's say there should be two rectangular boxes in the mid of the page, and on top of the first rectangular box there should be the word called username, and on top of the second rectangular box there should be password, and just below that there should be button called login or sign in, and there should be a functionality should be developed in such a way the person who has entered the right username and password, only that person should be authenticated to the Gmail. If wrong user ID or password was entered, the person should not be allowed into the pay into and that person should not be allowed to the next page, and a error should be populated to them that user ID or password is wrong. And I mean, there should be two more options just before the sign in, that forgot user ID or forgot password. So upon click it should be a hyperlink, and upon clicking on that, user should be routed to the next page of changing the password or a user ID. So a functional consultant has to do all this particular page. The requirement is so simple. They need a sign up page, a sign in page, or a login page. So, but functional consultant has to develop the application like this. Okay. So But Dynamics 365, what they will do is, as there are already some inbuilt functionalities are available. So three things will be there under this particular software development only. The first one is the process development, which we will not do as a consultant actually. Whatever the process that customer is following, okay, that process we will take the help of the application and we will develop the process in the application. Let's say, as I told you again, the same requirement. The customer need a login page, but how we are driving it with the application that was there in your hand. So that development, I mean, the design related thing, functional consultant will do, and now uh, as the functional consultant has designed the login page in such a way that the projection, let's say, under the let's say if login or sign in button was pressed, then if the right username and password was entered, then only the person should be allowed to authenticate. So that sort of thing will be achieved only through some coding part. That coding will be done by the technical consultant. Okay. So now, continuation to your answer. So in the analysis and the design phase of this particular software development cycle, so functional consultant will do this particular requirement gathering and design part of the requirement. Okay, and that particular design will be explained to the technical consultant. Functional consultant has to take the responsibility of explaining that particular design in his or her mind to the technical consultant. So two people will be there. So functional consultant is the one who is having the product knowledge. Okay, and technical consultant is the one who is having the coding related knowledge of that particular application platform. So now functional consultant has to explain the design that was there in the mind of functional consultant, and that person has to explain to technical consultant, and technical consultant will do the coding and um, coding in such a way to achieve the functionality that was designed by the functional consultant. Okay, so this development will be done by the coding development, or coding will be done by the technical consultant. Then after, testing will come into the picture, where functional testing is the I mean, two types of testings will be there. Code related testing. That code related testing will be done by the technical consultant itself, whereas the functional testing will be there. So that functional testing be done by the sometimes, depending on the company related things, separate team will be there for testing, or else functional consultant also sometimes they will also do the testing for it. Most probably in the companies I have associated, so whatever the functionalities that I have designed, so I am the one who has tested it also. Okay. So what sort of testing they will do? So in the whatever the requirement, or whatever the design that was made by the consultant. So again, uh, I have designed the page in such a way that there should be two rectangular boxes. Are they available or not? Upon clicking on sign in, if right password and and username wasn't, then only am I allowed. Or even though wrong password was entered, then am I is system authenticating it? So each and every scenario will become a test case for me. So that's where the testing will be done. Here in this particular testing, a functional consultant will do the functional testing, and technical consultant will do the code related testing. And then the whatever the code that will be developed, it will be moved to the uh, environment where customer will use. And then after, once the application was live, there will be a maintenance part where the functional consultant will be first point of contact to answer the to address the problems that the end user was facing. Okay. So here two roles are there: functional consultant and technical consultant. And I'm focusing about functional consultant, because functional consultant will be able to do the designing part only when the functional consultant is having the standard product knowledge. So right now we are here in this particular course, we are going to teach you about the standard functionalities that are available in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, with respect to the trade and logistics functional area. Okay, so I'm going to teach you about the standard product. And if you have knowledge about the standard product, then you will be able to understand the customer requirements, whether they can be achieved through the standard functionalities that are available in Dynamics 365 FNO, or you have to do any customizations for it. So we will be able to decide whether the requirement of the customer will be achieved through customization or in the standard, only when we have knowledge about the standard system. Then only we will be able to achieve it. Otherwise, we can't decide whether it has to go for customization or it can be achieved through standard system. Okay, so that was the thing. So now I have a question for you people. So why any company will go for taking the license of a particular ERP product like Dynamics 365 and all? Okay, so in my view, so if someone asks me why any company will, it's all about the um finance. I mean the amount part. Let's say if the company is not using an ERP and uh, if they are not getting the revenue as per their expectations, they are seeing the good amount of sales, but according to the sales, if they are not getting the amount that they expect. Okay, so depending on the sales that they have, so it means that some loopholes are in their business, are there in their business. So in order to overcome the loopholes that are there in their business and to have better financial outcome, so any people will come to this particular ERP utilization. Okay, so Dynamics 365 F&O is one such ERP where you can have the real-time insights, and you can have the purchase process or sales process stream. I mean, whatever the operations that the company is doing. So with the help of this particular application, you can streamline the operations, and you can make some data-driven decisions, and we can have some real-time insights over what happening in the business. So that's why people will go for the, I mean, not any ERP. So I am just explaining about Dynamics 365. Okay. We are under this particular supply chain management related course where in the supply chain management, there are three courses available. First one is trade and logistics, advanced warehouse management, and production control, which is related to the manufacturing. So three courses are there in the market. In so we are dealing with this particular trade and logistics now. So where under the trade and logistics, we are going to learn the standard product of Dynamics 365 F&O under these functionalities and under these particular areas where we are going to learn about the purchase management, and we are going to learn about sales management, we are going to learn about inventory management, and then product management. These are the four major areas that we are going to cover. And when it comes to the purchases, we have our application is divided into certain modules. So these are the two modules which are related to the purchases, and these are the another two modules which are related to the sales. And there is one module for product information management and one module for inventory management. We have a curriculum also what we are going to discuss.